Today's episode of Russ Reels Live brought to you by the Business Builder Ninjas Mastermind community. They're currently seeking to grow their group through more founding members. You get a 21-day free trial. They have weekly office hours, live chat, access to courses like Inbox Mastery and Podcast Mastery, peer support, and much, much more. Join today by going to businessbuilderthrowdown.com/ninjas. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Russ Reels Live on this Wednesday at noon Pacific Standard Time. So great to see everybody here today. I am just so excited about today's show. I'm just loving the guests that I have here today. And I'm so blessed, truly, truly blessed to have such great friends that are willing to come on and share their time with me and with you. We're going to be talking live streaming. We're going to be talking marketing through live streaming in 2022 because, you know, it really exploded this last year, but there are great things ahead. There's so many new and exciting things happening that you can do with live streaming, bringing attention to your business, getting that visibility, getting that top of mind. And so we're going to talk about that today from some real experts in live streaming and in marketing. I'm so excited for that. But first, just wanted to remind you who I am in case you don't know who this crazy guy is on the screen in front of you right now. So my name is Russ Hedge. I am an inspiration specialist. I am a keynote speaker, a marketing and sales coach. I am a live streamer and a live stream producer. I love being with people. I love to get a chance to meet so many great people. And if you have not got a chance to meet me, the best way to do that and the best way to get in touch with me is to go to russhedge.com. That's right, russhedge.com. And if I'm quick enough, I'll bring that up on the screen. There we go. Russhedge.com is the best way to get in touch with me. You can go to any of my social media, my email, my phone number. You can even schedule time right on my calendar to meet with me. And I would love to do that and connect with you. You know, I have a goal in 2022 to meet and connect with over 1,000 new people. Now that sounds like a pretty daunting number, but really the way that I connect, it's not going to be that bad because we're looking at less than 3 people a day. And I love connecting with people and I connect over and over and over. And I'm looking forward to connecting with you, building a relationship with you that we can help each other out, whether it's through live streaming or business marketing, whatever, or just be friends. I just love to connect. So if you get a chance, reach out to me. I would love to get to know you. So let's see, that's enough about me, I think, except for the fact that I want to remind you that I am the author of Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose, a book that encourages you, no matter what is going on in this crazy world around you, no matter what is happening, that you get to live the life you choose. I always say life happens and then you choose. So get out there and choose positive, have a great perspective on life because you can do amazing things. You know, my purpose in life or my why in life, the reason I get up every morning is to inspire and encourage you to live a purpose-driven life of significance. And what does that mean? I want you to be a difference maker. I want you to be a world changer. I want you to do the amazing things that God has created you to do. So if I can help in any way, I would love to do that. I would love to be able to encourage you today. So that is definitely enough about me. So as always, I love to go ladies first. And we have just the queen today. Queen Ingor is here today, ready to go. So we're going to bring her in first. Here she is, Ingor van Rooi. How's it going?
I'm well, thank you. How about you?
I'm doing really good. I'm having a great day, learning just great new things today. I've had a couple of really good meetings already. I'm always trying to learn and grow because I think that really helps. Don't you?
Yes. As the saying goes, if you're not growing, you're dying, right? So
There you go. That is so true. I agree with that 100%. Well, hey, listen, I know all the great things about you, Ingor, and all the great things you're doing, but just in case there's a couple people that don't here, tell everybody who you are and what you're up to.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for this opportunity to be able to speak to the people in the audience. And hello, everyone. My name is Ingor van Rooi, and I am the CEO and founder of We Got This Admin. I started out being an executive administrative consultant, but I'm actually going through a pivot right now and rebranding as the networking ninja. Um, there are so many LinkedIn coaches out there. And what I want to do is to teach people how to use LinkedIn. But more than just that, I want them to learn to use LinkedIn to build a network and help them to be able to, if you have a business, make more sales, but most importantly, connect with people on more than just a superficial level.
And I think that, you have used live streaming in an amazing way because you love video. I know you do. Oh, wait a sec. I think that was you that said, I hate video. That's right. And
I
so
still do.
yeah, we're going to talk more about that. But you've done amazing things to promote things using live streaming to market and promote all that you're doing and help you in what you're doing. So we are next going to bring in my good friend Matt, who is also Hook SEO Marketing, who is the sponsor today. Hey, Matt, how's it going?
Good, good. Great to be on the show today. I'm glad you have some heavy hitters on the show today. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first heavy hitter I was going to was Matt Rouse because you have been just not only a good friend, but given me some really good advice on some things in my business, and I appreciate
Sure.
you always willing to talk. And the business builder throwdown and all that you're doing with my good friend D. Scott Smith and Holly Jean Jackson, you guys have been doing great stuff. So give everybody a little snapshot into Matt and what you're doing in your life and live streaming.
Sure. So I run Hook SEO in the United States and Hook Digital Marketing Canada. We are an international small business marketing agency with my co-founder, Scott Burson, and then also with Holly Jean Jackson and Scott Smith. I run the Business Builder Throwdown, which is a live show that we record and then edit and put on YouTube. We've done 2 seasons of the Business Builder Throwdown that also get turned into a podcast called the 7-Minute Jabs podcast. And I run the Digital Marketing Masters podcast, which is going into season 4, where we're going to interview 50 small business book authors. And if that's not enough, then I also just finished another book that will be coming out in April. That's called How We've Always Done It. And that is my 5th book now. And talking about live streaming, and Holly, you should bring it up. An hour ago, I just interviewed Holly as my first guest on Amazon Live.
Wow. And that is a whole nother field we'll talk about because I know D. Scott is doing so much with that and Jim Fuhs who's
Absolutely.
coming on. And you know what? Speaking of that, we're going to go ahead and bring Jim Fuhs in right now. Hey, Jim. And we're going to let him introduce himself because he's huge into Amazon Live. How's it going, Jim?
I'm doing great, and it's great to be here. And congratulations, Matt. I'll have to check that out. In fact, if you can, make sure you drop your show link in the or your shop link in the chat, so make sure I'm following you. But yeah, I'm Jim Fuhs, Fusion Marketing. I do marketing the Marine Corps way. I'm a retired Marine Lieutenant Colonel, retired, hard to believe, almost 13 years ago, come
Wow.
August. But I've been in the live streaming space since 2018 when I started co-hosting the Tim and Jim show with my friend Tim Sohn. And since July of 2020, I've been co-hosting Dealcasters on Amazon with my good friend Chris Stone. And we've really been doing a lot. In fact, it's really been a blessing. Him and I never imagined the opportunities that would come from it. And in fact, May 26th to 29th, we will be running a micro conference at PodFest on Amazon. And so it'll be an all-day event. So we'll be, moderating, speaking. So really excited about that. It'll be an in-person event in Orlando, Florida. So be standing by for more information for those of you that might want to come near Disney World. It won't be at Disney World, but you might get a chance to visit. But I'm excited about the things that are happening in the live streaming space. And I also shared in the comments, tomorrow StreamYard is hosting StreamYard Connect. It's a free summit There's going to be some great speakers, Sean Cannell, Roberto Blake, among others. So if you're looking to up your game, now's the time to do it. It's never too late to start. And but yeah, Russ, thanks for having me today.
Oh, you bet. Absolutely. And I think you put the link to that in the comments about the StreamYard thing tomorrow. That is great. And yeah, Jim, you've been a huge, huge inspiration and help to me, helped Scott and I get started in live streaming when we first got going. Love Chris. He's amazing. And Tim, of course, huge, great friend. So speaking of great friends, Usama is in the house. We're bringing in Usama. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, good, brother. Thank you so much for having me and all the beautiful faces like you see, Jim. When I think of Jim, I think of going to the gym. And I think of Matt, I see the beautiful face with the wisdom and the awesomeness. And think of Ingor of all the greatness. Thank you so much for having me, brother.
You bet. Hey, if I ever want to lift the room and if I ever want to raise the energy, if I don't have enough energy, we just bring in Usama. That'll work every time. So that's what Ingrid told me to do, at least. And I listen to what she says. So, hey, Matt, Usama, there you go. You were talking about Matt. Tell us a little bit about you, what you got going on and how live streaming is working for you.
All righty. First and foremost, thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity and all alongside with the wonderful souls. So it has brought so many things actually towards the world. This is actually I'm the founder and host of Be Strong 99, hosting actually reached to over 120 episodes actually right now, and even I'm counting towards even further with Chill and Chat with so many other things along the way. At the same time, a public speaking coach as well as life coach as well. So it's always to build that confidence so that people, they can find that momentum so that they'll be able to make a difference from their own spark, from their own voice, in ways they've never thought. I don't want to have to get into my name, Usama Drama, and all of that because I'm known as the Energizer Bunny for that. So yeah.
Well, you're amazing, all the stuff you've got going. So you're a coach, and tell us real quickly, how have you integrated in the Be Strong 99 and the visibility portion of your live streaming to help you in your business?
This is of course by your advice, Professor Russ Hedge. Promotion. If we don't get it said, if we don't talk about it, nobody's gonna acknowledge it. And
Right.
just like, of course, the living legend Travis Lochner once said, it's like promotion over production because it will accelerate return on investment by higher margin. If we don't get it out said, then nobody's gonna know about it. So yeah.
Right. Well, that is so true and so well said. And a person that also is great at getting things out there, has been podcasting and live streaming. Mr. Mike DiCioccio is in the house. Hello, Mike.
Hey guys, how's it going? Wow.
Good.
You know what I feel like? I feel like if we were all comics, it's open mic night and I'm the last one to go on, but like 5 people just killed before me. And now this expectation is that I'm going to come on and I have to be funnier than everybody because I'm going last. But I'll tell you what, I could tell some jokes if you want. I got some good dad jokes. I don't think that's what the audience wants today, but
well, you might get Usama laughing.
You got to raise the bar when he's on the show, man. He's always here, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Russ, for being on. Just grateful for you. Love this show. Love tuning into this and meeting so many great people through LinkedIn. I love how you do your live streaming and you're always over prepared for the show. A little bit about myself. I'm the founder and president of Social Chameleon. We support podcasters. We're actually a production done for you service. We do the production side of it and also distribution. And most importantly, you just hit on it, the promotion of the show. What do I mean by that? The content creation. So to get it out to social media, you want to make sure that you have great looking and sounding content. And we do that. So we take regarding live streams, we'll take somebody's podcast who goes live, or it could be something that's recorded. And then we take that content and turn it into micro content. So then you have like this 40-minute show right here. We could take it, we can splice it, chop it up in different ways and put it out into like Instagram stories and TikTok and Facebook, right? And so you have plenty of content that comes from one amazing episode, and you can continue to curate it over time. The things that the gold that's dropped on this show right here doesn't have to live and die in the live stream. So that's what Social Chameleon does, is we take your podcast, we produce it, we distribute it for you, and then we help you out with your social media content so people can find it. Last thing I'll say about that, the micro content piece, think of it similar to like a major motion picture. If there's going to be a movie that comes out, there's always those teaser trailers that come out all summer long for the movie that comes out in the fall, right? So we all have seen them. Nobody would expect you to go to the big production, the big movie premiere without seeing those trailers first. So it's similar for your podcast. How can you expect somebody to show up to the 1 hour show without kind of teasing it over time and giving them little pieces of micro content, 15, 30, 60 seconds. So then they're really tuned in, amped up about the show, and they will tune in for the full hour.
Well, that's interesting because we're going to stick with that theme, Mike. And, Ingor, I want you to talk on that a little bit, because where live streaming is great from visibility and top of mind, everybody seeing you and getting your message out. If you don't get the message out about getting your message out, no one's going to tune in, right?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And for me, I can say that, I'm fairly new to live streaming. And so just recently I started taking a selfie or a screenshot of myself with my guest. I'm taking a page out of your book, Russ. But I cannot call myself Inga Selfie, no. But
that would be good.
It is so important because, with our live streaming, we all have a purpose with why we're doing it. For
Right.
me, it's about inspiration, about inspiring people towards positivity. Because in this day and age, you don't have to look far to see all the negativity that abounds. So, I want to be able to draw people to my show so that they can hear more about what we're talking about, what I'm speaking to my guests about, and things that I'm promoting as well. So it's very important.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. And Matt, you are a marketing expert. You've had your marketing agency, all the things that you're doing, and entering into live streaming. What do you find is the best way to get people tied into what you're doing?
Well, live streaming has been around a lot longer than I think people realize. There was, platforms in 2012, 14 that did live streaming. Like one of the big ones I can remember was Blab, was a really good one. It was kind of almost like a predecessor to Clubhouse. It was like the video version, right? And
Right.
there were some other streaming platforms, Periscope was one of the early ones, right? And we've been live streaming at the agency for about 7 years now. So we've really kind of dug into it. But what's happened is, since kind of the live stream explosion over the last year or two, there's so many more options. There's so much more technology. There has been a huge increase in the bandwidth that people have on the internet to actually watch video. And a really good example of that is I live in rural Nova Scotia, essentially the middle of nowhere. My internet options are none. Until I got Starlink for my house, we had no internet, right? Which is tough when you run a digital marketing agency.
Yeah.
But I can get 200 megasecond with Starlink, right? Anywhere in the world, out in the middle of the bush. I got a field full of ice right now from the last ice storm with a dish sticking out of it. And this is how you're seeing us. So much of the rural communities in North America and other parts of the world are going to have access to live streaming for the first time, because they never had access to things like cable modems or, fiber. They're still on, DSL and 1 meg satellite. So suddenly you're going to have tens of millions more people that will be able to watch your live streaming. And I think it's a massive opportunity for everyone.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I think the opportunity is amazing. And as our good friend D. Scott Smith, who also is a huge fan of Blab and was highly depressed when it went away, he always says that the barrier to entry nowadays is just your willingness to step forward and do it. We
It's
have
true.
so much opportunity, and the opportunity continues to grow, right, Jim? I mean, you now with Amazon Live and the things going on, there is so many opportunities and areas you can get involved in to live stream and promote what you're doing.
Yeah, and I think going back to what Matt said as well. I mean, as the internet, I guess you could say, access has improved, and whether it's you've got products like Speedify that can allow you to like do this bonding of your internet to try to boost your speed off of other devices, and then even when you look at from cloud-based live streaming services like StreamYard, but now you've got Wave.video has a new beta, which has really got a lot of exciting things from a creator standpoint of what you can do with that. And then I think there's another one, MView that also just launched. So there's a lot of competition in this space, but the benefit to those of us that live stream is it gives us options that aren't necessarily going to force you to have to get the latest and greatest computer or the latest and greatest cameras. I mean, Chris Stone and I talk about all the time, really, for anybody that's thinking about starting, right? The triad is start with your audio. You can get a decent microphone like, this Samson Q2U is, about a $70 microphone. It's USB, so you don't have to go get an interface at first if you want. You could have a webcam. You can use your phone, right? A lot of these phones have great cameras, and you can link it to your computer with a cable. And so I think that barrier to entry has really dropped. Where 7 years ago, going back to Matt's point, when he started, I don't know that I had the capability to do that if I had wanted to start back then.
Well, and I think the great thing is because of all the options, the competition, the technology, it becomes easier too. You take a person like me who has never done video editing and live streaming. I will, with some friends' helps, like my good friend Jim Fuhs, we were able to launch into that pretty quickly. What I have found too is the best way is just to get started. That's my theme in life. Get started, just do it and figure it out as we go. I've upgraded. I started with my phone and my MacBook, right? And just did everything there. This morning, I was on location with the Experience Live with Russ and Scott. I just take my MacBook. I don't even take anything else. And it does perfectly good when you're on the run and you want to do some live streaming. But it's nice. I see several of us have the new Shure microphones. I got my Shure MV7. I gave myself some Christmas gifts. Got my new Logitech camera, got my new wonderful wood wall behind me. And, we make some upgrades. I have my AirPods now, so I don't have to have strings dangling all over me, but I think that with all of this technology, it makes things more simple and gives us the ability to do that. And Usama, I mean, now you're smarter than most of us, Usama, but what have you found to be the greatest advantage to making things simple for you when it comes to live streaming?
Um, you're way smarter than I am, and even younger than I am. So, and even by the way, I feel like we're twins. Both of us were wearing like wireless headsets, so we tune into that together. I treat live stream as basically inviting someone into the house. So I approach it with the hospitable mindset to offer that hospitality, that uniqueness and everything. So that allows them, basically the individual in and of itself, they'll be tuning in without having to force them and everything. So from that, actually, it's a free advertisement, as they call it. It's a way basically,
So
at the same time, I mean, offering some pointers up and how we can all accelerate our content, and at the same time try to activate and at the same time motivate people so that they're able to accomplish the goals that they can. So if a person might be looking from the other angle, it's like, how can I get to live stream? I think of live stream as a simple cream, but you won't get to taste it until you try. I mean, we should fail forward. And that's how we jump forward towards the best of goals towards all. So yeah.
I love what you said. It's like just inviting someone in there's so many, it gives us the opportunity to share ourselves. Our friend Carl Sean Watkins is always talking about vulnerability, sharing causes that we have, sharing things that we want to get out there. Tim Sohn has shared his cancer story and has really brought a lot of people around him with the story of his cancer survival and all the things that he has there. And so what I love about is it allows you to get the word out there. And with you, I was about to compliment you until you chopped up a little bit, because it's like, here is Usama in Cyprus, right in the Middle East. Usually it's like you're next door talking to me, but like anything else, technology has to rear its head and chop up and then blow what I was going to say. But for the most part, technology it is amazing. 2 of you are in Canada. 3 of us are in the US on different coasts. And then you are in the Middle East, Usama, and it's amazing. We can all come together and we can be unified in message. And the fact that, again, back to the fact that it's so simple nowadays to be able to move forward and do that. Mike, you've been doing this for a while. And the changes that you've seen when you originally started, it has just got not only more simple, but also way more opportunity with what you can do with the live streaming, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Something I'd like to say too that's exciting. I don't know the exact numbers today for live streaming podcasts or live streaming shows, but I know when I was researching how many podcasts are up in live, meaning people are uploading new content weekly, it was the same amount that there were websites in 1998. Okay. So the fact that I'm saying that is the example I'm using is look at what happened from websites from 1998 until 2021 and now 2022. It just blew up like crazy. Everybody has a website who sells a product, service, has a message to get out. They can create a website in 30 minutes. I'm not saying that that's all you need to do, but the point is to get to that level, it's very quick access now. Where in 1998, there were hundreds of thousands of websites. I want to say right now, podcasters like 2.5 million, right? There's over 7 billion people on the planet. Do I think that everybody will have a podcast at some point? No, I don't think that necessarily makes sense for everybody. But my point is people are connectors. We're all here connecting, sharing messages, different part of the world. People love to learn through story, and storytelling is what happens on podcasts, right? You learn stories of guests, you learn stories about the hosts. People can share and learn and grow through different stories that are shared. The benefits of live stream is obviously that it's happening in the moment and it's current. And then there's all great benefits of podcasting in general, where you can tune into it on demand. Everything that we access, I say everything, that's a strong word, but most of what we access today, whether it's on your TV or your smartphone or device, is on demand. That's what people like and they want. They want to pause it when they can, or go to the next meeting or come back to it after their son or daughter soccer practice. Podcasting gets experienced when the user wants. So it's user friendly. It connects people. People are still what drives money, right? And I love producing content that's positive, similar to you, Russ. And I'm sure everyone here loves to tell positive, inspiring stories. And it's just a platform that has allowed me to do that. And I'll just share a quick benefit for me. I've met now over 115 guests on my show, Mic'd Up. I've been doing this since 2019. And a lot of them have become friends, and we've had multiple calls after the interview. And people send me referrals for other guests because they know what they've experienced on the show. And a lot of times it has turned into clients for me too. So it's turned into money. Not that that's the only reason I do the show. It's one of them, but the number one is connecting with people, getting inspired from their stories, and knowing that anyone who's listening is also benefiting from it. It's the best feeling in the world when somebody says, "Hey, I tuned into your show and I got this value from it."
Awesome.
Well, yeah, and I think connection is just an amazing part of live streaming. So marketing is all about connecting and building relationships with people. I truly believe that, and this is such a great tool. And Matt, were you going to say something about that? It looked like you were starting to say something.
I was. So we've been running our podcast for about 4 years now, and the other one for about a year. We're a business to business agency. We don't sell directly to consumers. We sell to consumers on behalf of other companies. But there was an interesting conversation the other day in one of the groups online about how do you make money from your podcast. And what I didn't see anybody talk about is the way that we make money from our podcast. And what that is the relationships that we build with the guests on the show, just like Mike was just saying. The referrals we get from those people are how we make our money. We don't get money from the listeners, right? No one, I shouldn't say no one, a couple people over 4 years have reached out to us from listening to the podcast to kind of, become clients of ours.
Mhm.
But over a dozen have become long-term clients with us who were either guests on the show or friends of guests on the show. So that's something super interesting in the podcast space that you can also do with live streaming.
Right. Well, I completely agree with that. It's a great way to connect, to build lifelong relationships, get new customers. There's so many different things you can do. I've been able to monetize and do things with my live streaming, which has worked out great because then by monetizing that, I am able to do more in that arena and able to promote more businesses and friends and help them out, as well as paying for my time and my team's time to do that as well, which has been a great thing. But there's so many different ways to take a look at things. And Ingor, you are to me are a prime example of somebody who wasn't jumping out in front of the camera. You're not like me. I was like, ta-da, woo, here I am. I'm like Usama. And so, but you were like, yeah, I hate video, get the camera away. But you have turned live streaming into such a great tool for you. And it's just been an amazing transformation. I've watched it before my very eyes.
Yes, before your eyes. I remember when I was on your show, you suggested to me that I should have a live show. And I looked at it and I thought, you were insane. But here I am. Yeah, I've been on your show as a guest many times. And I've had the privilege of hosting you as well.
Yeah, well,
And for me, it's all about just my audience, bringing value to them, and the guests as well, just being able to highlight people and show people that, what, despite what we all face, yes, there is a silver lining. We can be positive. We can pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and try again. And we all prove it on a daily. One of the things that I was able to do through live streaming was just be able to highlight different issues that we face today. I have a period poverty event that I'm going to be hosting in South Africa, and through my live stream, I've actually been able to highlight that issue and get people to sponsor me as well. So there is no boundary when it comes to live streaming. The boundary is you.
well, and that's true. And I'm going to hang on to you for just a minute to let start with our last round here, given last word, and let everybody know how to get in touch with you. But I do want to emphasize that point you just said, and that is everybody after I had already done it told me how you were supposed to do what I did with live streaming on monetization. And I did it because I realized how fun it was, but it took a lot of my time. And I realized I had to be able to pay a little bit for my time and be able to do what I love to do. Well, after I did it all, they told me all the rules I was supposed to follow. I was supposed to have millions of followers and I was supposed to go through all these steps. And I was just dumb enough not to know that. And so I just did it. And so my point there is I didn't have to follow other people's rules to make things happen. And you've been excellent at that. So give us your last word and your contact information.
Thank you. All I can say is, if you are out there and you're thinking about live streaming, and you're second guessing whether you should or you shouldn't, why not get yourself out there and start sharing your message? It could be inspiring to somebody else. So please connect with me. I'm always on LinkedIn and under my name, Ingor van Rooi. And I am here to help you. If you'd like help with networking, please reach out. I'm always available. Thank you, Russ, for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. And hey, Usama, I'm going to point to you next because your video seems to be working at the moment, which is good. So give us your last words of wisdom and how people get in touch with you. Did I speak too soon or are you just muted?
Me or my
Yeah.
goodness,
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like
There you go. Usama, you're on, man. You're it.
oh wow. It seems I don't know what happened. I mean, I just ran out of charge, so that's why I had to take it out. But yeah, thank you so much, for having us on board. And yes, indeed, for those of you that guys that are looking for ways to start on live streaming, please give it a shot, just like Professor Ingor would highlighted. Just like what Professor Russ and all the consultants that are in the building. Please, by all means, get yourself out there. You'll never know what you can't achieve unless you try. So give it a shot, and it will take you further mile down the line. It will take you so far. So, in terms of contact, I'm available on LinkedIn 24/7. Not like supermarket, of course, not like, but available like anytime, anywhere. Need a friend? Text me. Need a laugh? Call me. Need money? Okay, we'll talk that via PayPal.
Well, if you want to laugh, just listen to Usama laugh because when he gets the giggles, it really makes me laugh. Okay. Well, Jim, you're up next.
It's been great to be here and to get to know a couple people here I wasn't aware of. So I'll make sure best place really connect with me here on LinkedIn. I've made some comments. Jim Fuhs pretty easy to find. But I would say, if you're looking to get started, I would have to agree, like with what Osama said, just do it. Even if it's going, live to a private Facebook group to get those reps in, because you're just going to get better, right? As long as you're open to learning, you practice, work on those things. I'm in Toastmasters. If you look on my profile somewhere, we've got an open house this weekend, Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern. If anybody wants to check out a Toastmasters meeting that's being done virtually, so you can, get over maybe that fear of speaking in public, because speaking sometimes to a camera can be more of a challenge than speaking in front of people. Yes. And if you want to learn about Amazon, go to dealcasters.shop. You can follow us there, or go to dealcasters.university, and we have a video that will show you how to get approved so you can be like me and Matt and start to actually go live on a platform that is giving people a great way to monetize, very quickly with just a little bit of practice and dedication.
Yeah, I know that I've been blessed to be on your Amazon Live, you and D. Scott, and that is it's a great platform. It's a great platform, especially if you have a book or a product. But just to talk about whatever, it's a great way to promote all that you're doing. So we are going to go. Mike, you are up next.
Awesome. Hey, thank you again, Russ, for having me on the show, and everybody for giving your amazing wisdom, and anyone who's tuning in. Appreciate you being here. What I'd like to say is very much what has been said here is to get started and kind of not necessarily just figure out the rest as you go. Have a calculated game plan, but realize that many times you don't know what the next turn will look like. And the exciting part about it is, look, it's 2022 when we're recording this or doing this live, I should say. There's not a shortage of information. You have a thing called Google, you have YouTube. So if you get started and you hit a roadblock, you just go and you figure it out. You can go to YouTube, you watch a tutorial. And the other important thing is you have connections. You have your relationships with people like Russ or anybody who's on this call. You can reach out to us. We love that. Like, lean into us and say, hey, I have a quick question. And, we're not going to say, oh, we're going to charge you for an hour of your time. Just, we'll give you a pointer. Hey, I use this microphone, or I use this, or I've had some success with this system and it may work for you. If it doesn't, hey, cool. Let me know how it's going. Touch base with me. So the point is the community aspect, podcasters and live streamers. It's a great community. People are all uplifting. I haven't run into someone who's just out to get only, see themselves be successful and push everyone else down. It's a group that really lifts up. And when you get started, that's how you're going to learn. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. the best people they got started and they continue to learn and grow, and they never stop learning. So if you've been doing live streaming for 2-3 years, or as long as maybe Matt, I know he's always going to be checking out the latest and greatest. And so stay current. And I'd just say, like, use your community and get rolling. And if you're afraid, like, the other thing I'll say, and I'll end with this, is if it's only money driven that you want to start a podcast or do a live stream, I think you're totally getting into it for the wrong reason. But if you know you have a purpose and it's like really just gushing out of your heart, you want to help people and connect with people, it's a beautiful platform. And as Matt mentioned, he has dozens of clients that have come through his show, and he started it first because he loves what he does, and then all the energy flows that way. So I'd say if those things, if you're checking those boxes, man, get started, and the road ahead is going to be a fun one.
There you go. Thank you so much, Mike. Appreciate you. And speaking of Matt, you're up last.
Sure. So I think something that also, and we kind of hit on it a little bit earlier on, but especially, with all the kind of recent events that have happened lately, and there's been, lockdowns and people stuck in their house and business shutting down and people losing their jobs and all these things that are going on in the world. People really, even though we're in this digital connected world, people really crave like a deep connection with people, and that's something that's really missing, right? I see Ingor shaking her head there. Yeah, I just 100%. People want to have somebody that they can relate to, that they can talk to, and the best way to do that is face to face. And because we have this in our pocket everywhere, if you're live streaming, you can be face to face with more than one person at a time, right? So when you're live streaming, just like we are right now, people are watching us on their screen or on their phone, and it's not as good as sitting around the campfire kind of thing, right? But it's sort of the next best thing to in person. So if you want to make a difference, you want to make a connection, you really want to have an impact, then live streaming is the way that you can do that.
Awesome.
Yeah. And, I think what's really interesting, too, is that not only do people get the opportunity to watch us live, but then it sits on the platforms, and there are so many people that come and watch that later. Not everybody can tune in when you're going live all the time. And that's what I love about live streaming. Then it sits there. And then, like many of you, we do the same thing, repurpose that. It becomes an audio podcast on a lot of live streams, and then be able to push that out as well. And so that people, when they're driving down to my next appointment, I can listen in to good podcasts with people that I want to stay in touch with. So I appreciate the connection portion of this so much. I love to connect you all that have not met each other before, and I love to stay connected with you guys. I think I say this every time, but I've told each one of you, I'm a lifetime connector. I love building relationships. You're stuck with me. I'm your friend, and I'm not going anywhere, because to me, connection is not just, hey, Matt, it's great to see you, and then I disappear, right? Yes. Connection is constantly coming back and staying in touch and seeing what I can do to bless and help you. And then you in turn say, hey, what's going on in your life, and are interested in what I'm doing. That is what makes a huge difference, I think, in all of our lives. And that's where live streaming can be a huge advantage. It can not only market your business, but it can really bless you as a person individually. So just want to thank each one of you today so much for being here. All of your connection information is in the show notes, and anything else that you want to make sure and have out there, make sure and put it in the comments. And I appreciate each one of you doing that so much. And I want to thank Matt and the Business Builders Throwdown Ninja Mastermind community. That is an amazing thing they're getting going. You need to look into that if you have not. And if you haven't watched the Business Builder Throwdown, you need to watch everybody's shows that's on today. But the Business Builder Throwdown is really a lot of fun to watch. So great information like everybody has here. So thank you so much, each one of you. I'm going to send you guys out real quick to the green room and wrap it up. And thanks again.
Thanks, Russ.
Thank you.
Thank you, Russ.
takes a while to send everybody to the green room. So I like to have that problem. You know, I truly like the fact that I am blessed with so many good friends that are willing to come on and willing to share their time with me and with you. And so I just want to thank each one of them for coming on today. Their shows and information is going to be in the show notes or the comments. You need to connect with each one of them, with Matt, with Mike, with Ingor, with Usama, with Jim, because they are amazing individuals. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. They all have great gifts and abilities to be able to bless and help you. And so get in contact with them. I highly, highly, highly encourage that. If you want to touch base with me, go to russedge.com. And I just want to tell you, each one of you, whether you're watching now or on replay, how much I appreciate you taking time. And remember to put hashtag replay if you're watching on replay, and share this out. Everyone here today is used to this whole thing where we not only have a blast live streaming, but then we share the content out so that everybody that didn't get a chance to see it has a chance to catch this great information. So there's so many great things in 2022 that you can do through live streaming. You know, I always encourage you to just live your best life. Get out there, enjoy life, and have a great time doing it. You know, if your purpose is not defined in your life and you're not passionate about what you're doing, you should probably give that some thought about what you're up to, because you should be living a life that you love. Live the life you choose, as I always say. And I want to thank you again for being here today. Until we talk to you next time on Russ Reels Live, have a great day and a great life. See you later. Bye-bye.